Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves a track by an act named Nightbird Casino titled Sunglasses After 6. And if we switch over to here, we have the track on the screen on SoundCloud. First of all, this track is coming out on the 17th of December. I was going to say like a mixture of like 12 and 17, but that isn't a word. It's the 17th of December 2022. So this review will be released on that date. So if you're seeing this review, this track is available. Go show these guys some love, okay? I reviewed a lot of music from Nightbird Casino before, a few of their previous albums, and I genuinely enjoy my time with them, and it's good to hear more of what they're about. So without further ado, we're going to listen through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go, let's do it. Oh, nice panning of those parts there. Oh, it's nice and loud as well, my dudes. Okay, some trippy arpeggios and reverse takes. My goodness, Nightbird, what are you up to, my dudes? Oh, and that bass in the center is a smart move. Good, it does work. I wasn't sure if the spacebar worked on SoundCloud. I'm still learning how technology works, you know? Well, done on a weekend.
Swimming over when you're out in the pool. Like a waiter, I got something for you. It's my autograph. Shame on you.
My autograph, shame on you. These are interesting lyrics here. I felt like even if I had the lyrics, it might be a little bit confusing for me, but we will see. There is a bit of poetry going on here. Great groove on the drums as well. I love the work with these guitar arpeggios and the really intricate work on the cymbal parts, as well as sort of the kicks and snare grooves and those backing vocals on the sides as like more of a vocal sort of instrument rather than like a storytelling device. There's a lot to appreciate with these pretty charming sort of harmonies on the right sides. Almost got a psychedelic. There is absolutely no filler in here. We're not allowing for space, and I kind of don't mind that. What if the world ends and we were sleeping? We're not taking a vote. Sunglasses after 6. I don't want to take that literally. Is this... Great job moving away from the halftime groove to like a normal time or a double time. More bombastic bass here. And that's a surreal little squeaky flutter up ascending with that melody at the end. What do I make of this, dude? What do I make of this track? What have we got here from Nightbird Casino? Because this is the conclusion of my review of this track by Nightbird Casino titled Sunglasses After Sex. Oh my goodness. I was actually offered a copy of the lyrics if I wanted them. I feel bad now. I feel bad. But to be fair, I suppose, if we take a moment, a listener has to take the meaning of the story from what they hear. So I'm about to do that. And I hope it's not too horrifically incorrect. I think that there is like a stigma about that connection there, about people feeling ashamed and stuff like that. I think it's about maybe being like kind of in the stages of lust or something like that, and about being overwhelmed by the whole entire thing and coming to terms with what you've done and trying to sort of justify it by what if we waited and what if we wake up and then the world ends or something like that. We're trying to come to terms with the decisions we're making and surrounding and that sort of stuff, the passion that comes with it. But also, you know, everything else is involved in it emotionally. I think that's basically what this track is about, and I kind of adore it. There may be a secondary meaning to it. I'm sure that people will let me know in the comments. But it's really interesting imagery there. I enjoyed my time with it. It's great to hear it. It's great to hear Nightbird Casino putting out more music. I like the vocals. I like the vocal style. I don't know if all the words came through clearly, if I'm totally honest. Most of them did. I think I got most of the words, and I was listening really hard. I think that we hit the melodies really well. It had great vocal melodies there. And the way that the backing vocalists harmonized in that chorus section was absolutely dope. It was so bright and cheery and sort of splendid to listen to, you know. It was sort of ethereally beautiful. It was very unique in that respect. I don't know how to describe it. It's one of those songs where even if I don't necessarily know what the track is about, I still appreciate hearing it. I liked the texture of the main vocalist, and I also liked the backing of the remainder of them. And it's just so gorgeous to hear it with all the stuff going on with those guitars on the left and the bass parts and the drums and all those other synth parts and everything that were patched around the stereo field. There was so much to admire and enjoy there. It really is an exercise in sound design. Like, you know, to be fair, we did have sort of like bridges, we had verses and choruses and everything like that. And we had sort of instrumental parts where we sort of carried each other out a little bit and could have sort of stepped back. And, you know, just the craftsmanship in regards to those sort of guitar lead lines with da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, working with all that sort of stuff there. And the panning of those little fuzzy bits at the beginning on the left and right and everything like that there. The choices that were made both with the production, but also the arrangement was sincere. And I suppose, to be fair, to go back to the vocals again, just because I want to go back there a little bit, what I do want to say is that what I heard from the singer matched the story really well. It does sound like someone sort of going through their brain and kind of rattling away and trying to figure out how to sort of like come to terms with what's occurred and where things are going and stuff like that. It's a smart choice in the line of the singer to write a song that they care so deeply about, and it comes through in the vocal performance there. But yeah, getting back to the way that it was structured, you know, at 3:57, I think that we made good use of that space. The motifs that were present never became old. There was clear distinctions between those sort of verse storytelling and chorus hook line sections there. And again, it was not even that I needed to necessarily hear the story and hear it told well. It was that I appreciated the sort of beautiful aurora borealis kind of levels of like color and dashing displays there orally. You know, it was fantastic. Great technique all around, proficient instrumental performances there. I do like the complexity of the drum parts in that secondary verse or something like that. We had some sort of 16th hi-hats and we rushed into it. We kind of built into like a normal time groove at the end as well. We've been going half time for most of it. It's almost like we had a further sense of urgency at the end of the track, as if we were coming closer to the conclusion about, well, what happens if the world ends? You know what I mean? I think it's difficult to balance complicated elements within a track. You know, when you've got the guitarists sort of riffing away with some delay reverb-laden parts on clean guitars, when you got the bassist going in there sort of slapping around and stuff, and you got the drummer doing some complex sort of stick work, when you've got the singer telling the story as well in the bits in between, and then the backing vocalists keeping it nice and big, and then the synths and everything else. It's quite a thing to manage, but it's testament to Nightbird Casino's proficiency as composers and arrangers and their experience at this point in time. It's fantastic work. I look forward to hearing more of what they do in future. You never quite know how to take it at face value, but I think that's part of the beauty of it, is that there is a little bit of sort of like the unknown and mysticism there. And that's what makes it a little bit deeper and a little bit more sort of like chunky. Sometimes it's good to have music that you don't figure out immediately. Sometimes it's nice to have music that you kind of have to work out as you go along and really sort of like process in a way that's meaningful. And I think because of that, it also has replay value. Like if you enjoyed listening to this track and want to sort of really kind of absorb and vibe it, like go for gold with that, man. You know, you're going to get a few plays out of it. There was a real somber tone to most of it though, and a final comment before we go into the mixing and mastering, the production side of things. Even when the vocals lit up there and things got really bright in that high end, it seemed like kind of like we were kind of bittersweet about it, almost sort of dreading the conversation we were trying to have. The guitar parts and everything else there, even the fuzzy bits, which are usually charismatic and bubbly, things seemed kind of, there was a sense of dread or a sense of like, it was kind of tainted, I suppose. And I think that's a really nice sort of complexity tonally to have there color-wise, you know. I like it when music has, again, that bit. And it's not done by, like, extensions or something like that. It's not like a harmonic thing. It's more of an overall tonal thing or choice with the melodies, for example, you know. But, like, look, the production, recording, mixing, and mastering, as I suppose as a final note, was excellent. There was a lot to manage, but I think that Nightbird Casino and Co handled it very well. The sparkle and shimmer that we had, there were some of those main vocal and backing parts were sort of colored and sort of were coupled really well with the guitar and bass parts and the side chaining of the drums and how tight they were, you know. There was space for everything in the mix. Great use of not only automation with the panning of some of the elements, but also just the general placement of the instruments in the stereo field. It was nice and wide. There was definitely dynamic range there, and change to perceived loudness would keep that engaging throughout. You know, your ears didn't get tired listening to it. At under 4 minutes, you'd struggle to have that anyways with the amount of work that went into this track, but at the same time, I long for it. It's great. There were parts where I don't think it was the fault of anyone involved. I think it's just there's so much to take in at once that I'd probably need multiple lessons to really get everything. But I do like how the vocals were filtered and processed and everything like that. I like how they contrasted with the backing vocals. You know, the backing vocals were a little bit brighter there. And again, it was nice that they didn't have more storytelling devices on the side in the middle of the hook section. I think that was a great choice there stylistically or performance-wise, you know, without a note out of place. And like the limited compression is fantastic. It was nice and loud without pumping. Because I mean, this is effectively my review of Sunglasses After 6. The latest track from Nightbird Casino out 17th of December, which is today if you're watching this on the day. I hopefully enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via the various social medias and their SoundCloud page. And stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time. As I hate the hell more than ever with the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I will catch you in the next review. Spiderhands Out.